What up, tribe? It is the Medicine Man in the house, and I have the pleasure today of dealing with my right-hand man, the founder of Nightlife Marketing Resource, Nightlife Marketing Association, the Creative Complex. Mr. Alex Miranda himself has blessed us with his presence today, and we're going to go ahead and start breaking down a little bit about what happened in Vegas last month at the nightclub and bar convention. What up, big boy?
What's up, man? Sorry, the phone was ringing. I forgot to put the phone on mute. Everything's cool, Kevin. I'm really happy to be here. I'm excited to be talking about what I'm really passionate about, and well, looking forward to another great training.
That's what's up. So an NCB show last month, you spoke twice. You gave 2 keynote presentations, and the second one was the one that we're going to talk about today. That one actually was probably the most packed, and it had everybody rushing to the front of the room afterwards. So you wanted to bring that to the members of Nightlife Marketing Resource and Nightlife Marketing Association. Tell us exactly what the subject is on this, and why did you want to bring it to the network?
Yeah, it actually started last year when I noticed the nightclub and bar convention didn't have any sessions where they spoke about graphic design and event branding. And I felt, as the owner of an event branding agency where I have graphic designers, and I'm teaching nightlife clients all the time about, the importance of creating an event brand. I felt like that was missing in the bar and nightclub convention, so I approached them last year, and I basically threw my name in the hat, and we worked on 2 sessions for the past 6 months. And coming to the show, yes, it was my first time. I was pretty nervous, but excited at the same time that I was going to be able to represent the branding community to bar and nightclub owners. And I was really humbled by that experience.
That's what's up right there. What do you think it was like? What really got the people to respond to your presentations, especially the one about branding a long-lasting event?
I think people were able to connect with the stories that I told. I handed out a sheet that had the 3 secrets of long-lasting branded event and the 5 ways to perfectly brand your event. So people were taking notes, they were engaged, and I was able to bring up a lot of graphic design examples. And so it was, for some people, very eye-opening, the concept of everybody wants a long-lasting branded event. We don't want our Friday party to disappear. I think to some people, I really made a strong connection as to how your design, the branding of your event, has a lot to do with how long it can last.
Right. And I've seen you break down your 3x5 branding formula with your clients before, and that's what you really introduced to the crowd that day. I want you to get into a little bit about the difference between an actual branding concept of an event versus just doing graphic design for an event.
Just doing graphic design doesn't take into consideration the emotional impact that a design can have, and doesn't and is just doing what is told to do. Here's the flyer. There's no concept of longevity, of impression on people's minds. So when you're looking at an event brand from a long-term perspective, you think differently about the design. You think of things in months and quarters and half years, um, and you think of an overall theme to encompass the entire event, um, and you really work at continuing and evolving that theme, um, along with the vision of the marketing directors of the nightclub. So yeah, it's a very different train of thought from even the person who's not designing um, needs to have that sort of long-term vision and be able to see that um, and be able to ask for it.
Okay, so it's not just as simple as getting a good graphic design to match up with an event and rocking with that.
No, and experience is key. I mean, um, as a promoter myself, I understand the need for something to keep on going. I mean, that's a consistent paycheck. Um, and as a promoter, I can sleep better at night knowing I have an event that's kind of one of those weekly staples. And so when you work to build that brand at the beginning, there's a sense of peace that comes along, and then the designs just start to come together even better.
Okay, and that's from the internal perspective. You also mentioned from the consumer perspective, from the attendee perspective, that it needs to leave an impression. So, am I getting that there's an actual emotion involved to creating a long-lasting branded event?
Yeah, there is. And I'm not talking about how you can look at a picture and get emotional, or look at a color of a flyer and be moved, even though those are true. I'm talking about I start going to an event and it's a Friday night, you know, or it's Backyard Wednesdays, which was an event that I did for a long time in Miami Lakes, and I start to see the flyers. You know, I see the branding of it on the internet. But when I'm going to that Wednesday event, things are happening at that event. Memories are being created, and impressions are being made. What starts to happen is that I start to see that same brand, that same event, and maybe I haven't gone in a couple weeks, but when I see the event brand, I'm like immediately connected, because I had already connected the picture of it to the experience that I had there. And so seeing that flyer or that brand kind of evolve, and it might be a different DJ, a different day, a whole different thing, but the logo is there, and the look and feel is there, and I'm immediately emotionally connected to that time, that good time that I had. And we experience it all the time. I mean, I'm 32 now, but if I see a flyer from a party when I was 18, I'm like immediately transported back to that night, because that was the emotional response that I put to that particular design.
That's what's up right there. And then through your 3x5 branding formula that you take your clientele through when you're doing your consultations, that's really the two things you're putting together: that experience, that emotion behind the concept and the vision that the clients have. And that's what you're going to break down inside the Nightlife Marketing Association this month with our whole training. You're going to give that 3x5 formula out?
Yes, sir. I'm going to give the 3x5 formula. I'm going to put some notes. I'm also going to be releasing my event branding Bible. It's a compilation of 7 or 8 years of designs and strategy, so that you can have sort of a guideline and a handbook. Yeah,
that's what's
I'm
up.
excited for that release. I'm also gonna be interviewing some some people who have had event brands for a long time. They've been currently carrying, you know, events that are going on 3-4 years right now, and I got a couple people lined up to interview them so they can share some of their secrets. So I'm excited about that too.
Okay, so before we cut this little teaser interview out for our network out there, our nightlife marketing resource readers, what would you say is one important key point when they're creating a long-lasting branded event that they need to keep in mind? Just one little golden nugget that you could drop in their lap.
People want to be a part of a movement. And if you create your event around a movement, I'm not talking about a cause. I'm just talking about if you're about something and you're hardcore about that thing, then you're creating a movement. If you feel strongly about hip hop, if you feel strongly about house, you feel strongly about the hipsters, the hipster movement, and that kind of, you know, vibe. If you feel strongly about deep tech house, well, then you need to define yourself, you need to choose that niche, and you really need to dive into it. And your event brand will reflect that particular niche, and it will be able to just develop and be so about that, that people will want to be a part of that. They'll start to associate themselves with your brand, and that's really the secret to kind of explosive growth in your event brands.
There you go. There you go. So for those of you just throwing an event over to a graphic designer and just posting it up, you obviously need to get in. We're going to break down the 3x5 branding formula from the man himself. He coined it. He does it every single day with some of the biggest events in the world right now. Yo, thanks for sharing. And I'll see you inside Nightlife Marketing Association this month. April's training, the 3x5 branding formula to create a long-lasting branded event. Mr. Alex Miranda, the founder. Thank you very much, brother.